down in the vault, thinking about films. It's becoming somewhat of a passion for me. That's all I do is think about films. And maybe that's a benefit for all of us, I suppose. Enjoy looking at them, enjoy kind of thinking about them, researching them, and I really enjoy bringing them to you. Getting them out there on the airwaves. A lot of these films haven't been seen for a long time. This is a film, I think, that is of that nature. The film we're going to be showing is a 1959 film. This is the follow-up to the 1958 Hercules that was done by Pietro Franzesi and by Mario Bava, who was the assistant director and also was the cameraman and set designer for the whole shooting match. Really got that Bava look to it. Hercules Unchained. Hercules Unchained. It's also a film that stars Steve Reeves. Steve Reeves plays Hercules. This is his second Hercules role. He started it in the Hercules earlier, and he's continuing on. And he's only made two, okay, of the Hercules variety films. That doesn't mean that that was the only sword and sandal type of film that he made. He did get involved in making other types of films in that genre, but this is the only two times that he played Hercules. This film is kind of fascinating. It's got a lot of the same characters carried over from the Hercules film, like Iola, okay, played by Sylvia Casina. She's also going to come over. She plays the same character. Hercules is likewise, at this point, they're very much enamored with each other, and they are, well, gives Hercules the reason to do what he does because of certain things that happen to Iola. Hercules loses his memory in this film. That doesn't really go over well for him, and he's sort of entranced by a kind of a bewitching lady, okay, Queen Lydia, okay, of another island, and Hercules spends some time on there, and whenever he drinks this certain water from this certain well, okay, he sort of forgets everything. And that's not going over well for the other boys up in Thebes and things like that, where they want Herc back. You know, Herc is sort of a good guy to have in your corner, and if you don't have Hercules in your corner, you know, you might lose the match. And there's a lot of warfare going on, people kind of shifting around, battling it out. It's kind of interesting. I was looking over some of the people in this film as far as character names. It's like they went through Greek mythology, and anybody that they could think of that people knew real well, they threw them in there. For instance, we've got Ulysses. That's kind of interesting. Ulysses, in this case, is sort of a wimpy character. He's a sidekick, sort of, to Hercules. And it's through him that he sort of, he really has to thank Ulysses for some of the service that he gives to Hercules. It sort of saves the day. But he's not the kind of Ulysses guy that I think of, you know, when I think of Ulysses. Not this little wimpy guy. We think of also, they got other people in here. Creon's in here. King Laertes is in here. Orpheus is in here, singing stuff with his little lyre. We have King of Oedipus in here. King Oedipus in here. We have Castor and Pollux together. Now, if I remember my Greek mythology, they weren't supposed to show up together at the same time, Castor and Pollux. They were supposed to, like, share Earth, not share Earth time, but sort of like when one was up, the other one had to be down. Well, these guys are up at the same time. Okay, so they kind of twist that Greek mythology thing. And I guess if they have a wimpy Ulysses, I guess they can have a Castor and Pollux together. The look of this film is remarkable. I was reading some people arguing that this is actually a superior film to Hercules. I don't know if I'd say it's superior to Hercules. As a matter of fact, the two should go together because they do kind of complete each other. Unfortunately, our Hercules was a great letterbox print. This one is a pan and scan print. And I apologize for that. Please forgive me. But that's the way we have it. I think you're going to have fun with this. 1959, these two films started a whole pile of Hercules strongmen films. And these films gave jobs to folks who are really going to be getting involved in two other big genres that we love, spaghetti westerns and horror films. Because the strongman film is going to only, well, last for a while, then it's going to kind of, saturate the market, then it's going to peter out. But what rises from its dust? Horror films and spaghetti westerns. Well, I think you're going to enjoy this. Hercules Unchained. Got a lot of great fight scenes in it. Got a great comic scenes in it, too. One of the things I like about both of these films is they don't take themselves that seriously. they have their tongues in cheek. And it really works. And I can see, I was reading that the role of James Bond was offered to Steve Reeves, but he turned it down. And I can see why they might offer it to him. Okay, he has that Bondish feel about him. He's a bit stonier. He's not as good an actor as Sean Connery. I'm glad he turned it down. But I was sitting there thinking about Steve Reeves playing James Bond, you know, Dr. No and Thunderball. Something to think about as you watch this film. Think of him without a beard. Think about James Bond and if he would have done any good in it. I think he would have done okay. Well, enjoy this film. Hercules Unchained. Nice color. It's not widescreen. Sorry, forgive me. But at the same time, it's still Steve Reeves on the screen doing his best muscle man act. Let's roll him, Smokey.